Welcome to Buffalo on the Rise. I'm your host, Joe Chili. With us today from SC Parker, Jeffrey Hahn. Is it Jeff or Jeffrey? Which would you?
Jeff.
Jeff is good?
Yes.
All right, that's
The only
good.
person that calls me Jeffrey is my mother-in-law.
Really?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Your mother-in-law calls me Joseph, so we're in the same boat. You know, although I'm sure you're much more responsible for her financial well-being than I am. But as we're moving along talking about finances, you know, this is something, Jeff, I got to be honest with you. You know, and I would imagine a good number of people that are viewing look at this and say, oh yeah, I know all about finances when I've had a couple of drinks and I'm talking to my buddies, or when I'm talking to my barber, right? But when they go in and they want to meet with a financial advisor, they feel really uneducated. I was going to say stupid, but I wanted to make it classy.
Okay. Well, I think financial literacy is actually a problem for our country, and it's very much a deficiency in our education system. We're all part of the economy, and why we would teach what the Emperor of China did in 2,500 years ago and not teach how to balance a checkbook is a little beyond me, but they haven't called me and asked me my advice on that issue.
Well, yeah, I totally agree with you. Two things, yeah. I think. When people get out of high school or college or whatever, they don't teach you about how to manage your money. And nobody teaches you how to take care of a child for all intent and purposes. You know, you leave the hospital, here's this new bundle of joy, you know, good luck.
There you go.
Right? So how did you get your interest in this? What was the start for you to say, I want to get into finances?
Oh, that's a great question. So when I was a young guy, 11 years old, I had a paper route.
Okay. And
I saved up my money, and one of my customers was a motorcycle shop, so I was going to buy a mini bike. And like a good son, I went to my father and said, Dad, I saved up my money and I want to buy a mini bike. And he says, well, where are you going to ride it? And I wasn't fully forthcoming, but I said up and down the driveway.
Yeah, right.
He didn't believe me, and he said, why don't we do something else with this money? And he took me down to his broker at Merrill Lynch, and I bought 2 shares of Sears and Roebuck. And I have been following the stock market ever since. Watched it all through my high school and college days, and when it's in and out and all the rest of that stuff.
I used to work with a gentleman who shall remain nameless.
Yeah.
Don Gilbert. So anyway, I used to work with Don, and Don would always say, you know, Joe, you're solid like Sears. Well, unfortunately, that's not the case.
Yeah, a lot has changed since I was 11, and Sears is no longer with us, but I still have some of my original certificates.
Do you really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know,
I have a collection of certificates of companies that are no longer in business, and Sears is one of them.
What about, you know, I have to ask this because my grandfather was big into treasury bonds, was it, right? You know, oh, they're secure, the faith in the U.S. government, whatever. Are they still a good deal?
Well, a bond is different than a stock,
Okay.
right? With a stock, you're buying ownership of a company, and the value changes every day, every second of every day, actually. With a bond, you're making a loan. So a treasury bond, if you were invested in those, you would be helping to support the federal government. They're borrowing money from you. When we lend money, we just want to get paid back and get some interest. And the federal government, the United States government, has never defaulted on a loan since its beginning, right? And so they're safer, right? They fluctuate in value a little bit, but they're safer. And the purpose with that stuff, Joe, is to preserve your money. The purpose of the stock market is to grow your money. So it's 2 different purposes.
All right, so let's ask this. You know, we have some older viewers that are watching today. Mm-hmm. Now this would make sense to me, but only you would know, should you be more conservative as you get older in your investments?
Yeah, so you take risk with a purpose as well. But a lot of people who have been investors for a long period of time tend to like to hold on to their stock market holdings as they get older, even though the textbooks say as you get older, you should move more from stock market to bond market.
All right, now we've got about 2 minutes left
Yeah.
in our segment here. So what should somebody do? Say somebody's older now and they have not invested and they're thinking, oh man, the years are getting away from me. Maybe I should do something. Is it ever too late?
No, it is not. And we will provide you with advice that we think represents really good quality assets that you'll want to own for a long period of time and that you will benefit from owning them. That's a real big thing for us. One of our major purposes, actually.
Sure. And I asked Jeff before we went on today, I said, this is, you can't really plan in this. I mean, it changes every day. Do you still enjoy what you're doing? He goes, I love it. I love it.
I do. Yeah, I love working with our clients. Our firm has been in business for almost 100 years. I haven't been there that long. But we're very dedicated to what we're doing. And I figure Warren Buffett's going on 93, so I got a long ways to go.
You look great, but you did gray prematurely.
Very prematurely. Yeah.
And that didn't have anything to do with the stock market.
Well, it enhanced the, it went from gray to white with the stock market.
Do we call that lowlights? No, I'm sorry. We don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I think you put things in terms that people can understand, which we certainly do appreciate. And Jeff Hahn, we really appreciate you being here today. Thank you for joining us on Buffalo on the Rise. And for more information and answers to your questions, contact SC Parker and Jeff Hahn's team by calling 716-632-6800, or you can go to scparker.com.